All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another plog. I'm pausing because I
Don't
don't know
like it.
if that's taken off, and I
Don't
don't
like
think
it
it
at all.
is. Adam surprisingly agreed to join me again for one of these, so thank you, Adam, for doing that.
Yeah,
You,
it's.
I,
I would say it's my pleasure, but
I'm
I'm
guessing
happy to do it.
it's a combo of you had so much fun last time slash we had great engagement on my UFO video, UFO and
Yeah,
Ghost in the House.
I'm sure the people who are into the UFOs and ghosts will be just as into what we're talking about today.
I have variety on my channel. I go all over the place. People like that, I think. Hopefully. uh, anyway, as you can probably tell from Adam's actually in his basement today, so thanks for doing a whole setup there compared to your other view last time.
Yeah,
Be-
I set up all my games. I got a
yeah,
lot of them, as you can see.
they're very organized. It's very good. And it's
Yeah.
weird because sometimes in that basement, I don't know if it's a paranormal thing like we discussed last time, but around your head, there's things shift and it doesn't look like you're fully in your basement. But yeah,
Yeah, that's. It's the lighting in here is a little weird. I'm still
yeah.
fixing the lighting, so sometimes there looks like there's kind of like rips in time and space.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that can happen too.
yeah, that's
Um,
That's what you get with when you get those cheap light bulbs.
but yeah, today we're talking about basement redesigns, and I'm kidding. We're gonna do board games. Um, Adam and I have played a decent amount of board games together, and I don't know, Adam, how would you rank me in terms of a board game? Wow.
I, wait, in terms of
Like as
did
a
you just say
board
in
game
terms of
player
a
in
board
general.
game?
No, I meant to say player, but you started laughing and I got distracted. But like as a board game player, like
Uh,
picking up on a game and
I mean you know the answer, so when I say it,
I actually
I
don't.
guess you'll have to act surprised. It takes you a little bit to pick up on games. I would say more complex games are probably not your forte, but uh, you seem to like you seem to like games. I'm always very confused about you with games because I when I first actually when I first met you, you talked about how much you played board games,
Yeah.
and so I thought you were this big kind of board game geek and fanatic, and it turns out that it seems like you don't like most board games.
Yeah, I think I surprise people with a lot of things like that, just as a side note, because I told my friend I met another friend and I was like, I go biking a lot. And then he's like, I bike 80 miles when I go around the whole bay, the whole San Francisco Bay. I was like, oh, I bike like 30 minutes. So nothing is ever that intense for me, I think, that I'm into. And then yeah, super strategic games stress me more than I find them enjoyable. There's just too many things going on. It's a lot of rules to take in and
I also think your definition of super strategic is maybe the threshold's not as high for you as it might be for other people.
well, we'll see as we discuss this, but yeah, there's a lot of I'd say like over time hopefully you realize I don't think there's anything I'm like super incredibly into, I guess. Like deeply into.
What about plogging?
Yeah, but would you even say I'm super into that? I mean, it took me this long to download the official Skype app.
That's true.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm sorry if I disappointed you. You thought I'd be a great like board game geek and I'm not, but
Uh,
it
There's
still
level.
worked.
You know what though? There's different levels of that too. I mean, you don't want to be all the way on that
That's what
side
I'm
too, where
saying.
you're so intense about games that
Yeah,
it's not fun.
right. And I mentioned this in our last plog together, but so I won't go in depth on it. But it's just like when you asked me, when I asked you want to go to Disneyland together for the first time, you then like asked me after saying yes, after you took a while, uh, do you wear tons of Disneyland stuff when you go? You thought I'd be all intense about that. So there's a theme here. I'm not intense about really anything.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
you
you thought
should
it.
wear a ton of Disneyland stuff when you go though.
I don't have
That'd
much
be fun.
Disneyland stuff. I might be purchasing a shirt soon, so stay tuned.
Okay. Well,
There might be a shirt. But for anyone watching, maybe I should start like a Patreon or something. Maybe we could start a fund for just send me Disneyland stuff. I'll take it.
I'm
That should
sure
work.
everyone's
That'll
just
work.
loving. Everyone who has Disneyland stuff is just always willing to just give it away.
They'll part with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. All right. Well, I guess we'll get into this. I'm sorry. Let's just jump back to the games, I should say. Anyway, we have played games together. Yes, I'm not super into a lot of games, but over time, you and I have played, a decent amount of the same games together. And so that's what we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss the games I own, your thoughts on them, my thoughts on them, and then we'll rank them at the end. And this will help so many people because I'm sure there's people out there being like, what games does he have? What
Yeah,
games
and
can I
there's
buy?
very little content on YouTube regarding board games.
No,
So
I tried searching,
this
and
might be the only video that shows up.
so you're welcome, everyone.
Yeah.
And this will be a lot of games. So we won't go into
Untapped
any of
potential.
Adam's to well, we'll go into a couple of yours, but you won't be able to go to your shelf for certain reasons.
Well, I do
To-
have. You know what though? I pulled some off my shelf, and I have them here that I can
right.
bring
As I
up
say,
and
we'll go
show.
through a few, but you won't actually go to your shelf and pull them just
No,
because.
I mean everything's kind of pretty set where it needs
Yeah.
to be, so I don't want to mess that up.
It's funny. I could see that actually. I could see you really doing that. Kind of having like the perfect, like it's like alphabetized and.
I
'Cause
mean, you see it right now, so
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know why you're saying you could see that when you. This is my
'Cause
board
it's
game dungeon.
totally real. But I just remember your DVDs were like, I believe alphabetical when I went.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true, but I didn't have many DVDs, so it was. I don't even know why I alphabetized them since I didn't have that many.
But you still did.
But I
and
did.
So that's anyway. That's why you would have that.
I mean, shouldn't you alphabetize your DVDs? It's just
No,
easier to find.
no. Well, I also just shove them all under the TV and the console right now. So.
Yeah.
Like why?
Well, I think the question is, should you even have DVDs now?
I know. That's it. We'll save that.
That's for
day.
another episode.
We'll bring a special guest who feels very strongly about that for that one. Sam, if you're watching, which you aren't because you always complain about getting these videos in your feed talking about you. All right. So let's get started. You ready?
Ready.
I'm going to start actually not with this one, even though everyone sees it. We're going to jump to this one in a sec. First of all, can I ask you a question? Did you and I play Connect 4 together ever?
First of all, why do you just have the lids?
It's easier for me to show versus
okay.
I have the boxes here if I absolutely need to get a game piece to reference, but there could be technical issues with the headphones with that, but they're there.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway. So did we play this together?
Connect 4.
Because I might be confusing you with
probably
another
played
friend of
Connect
mine.
We've probably
we
played
have.
Connect before, but I don't remember it that well.
I played it with another friend all the time, and he beat me every single time. And that's I still like this game, but that's what annoyed me about it. But I guess that wasn't. I'm confusing you with someone else. I mean, I'm sure you beat me at it the few times we've played, but
yeah, I'm decent at Connect 4, but it's like a solved game, right? So if you're really good at it, you can basically either win or tie every time.
Right, and that's what was happening. That's why it was really annoying to play with my friend. But it's such a classic. It's just very loud when you're done, and they all drop in the box at the end. But
yeah, it's a fun setup, and it's cool to. Have you seen those big ones? Those like giant.
I was about to ask. There are big ones of those, right? Not just
there's like the giant sets that they have at like weddings and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that must be hard with the. How big are they?
Huge.
Well, I was gonna say actually for me, no matter what, it'll be big. You're like they're like 4 feet high. I'm like they're huge.
Well, it's like those big chess sets, right? Like the giant chess sets. But one thing with Connect 4 as well is there's a bunch of different also variations that I've seen at like arcades and stuff. There's ones where you shoot basketballs in to play Connect 4.
Like a large Connect 4 at an arcade.
It's a big Connect 4, but it's with basketballs. So you shoot a basket into the area you want. So it's a combination of both basketball skills and Connect 4 skills.
That seems like that would bounce out of there so easily. Like, like we struggle enough with arcade basketball as it is. At least I do, with the ball going all over the place. I can't imagine trying to get it in a slot and like stack.
Well, it adds. I mean, they make it in a way where you can make the baskets most of the time, but you won't necessarily make it in the right one, which is, I guess, adds some of the challenge.
I've never seen that.
You should throw up I don't know if you do this. You should put like an image of that.
I'll pull it up. I can do that with the magic of editing. Let me ask. Oh, my assistant actually just left, so yeah, I'll have to do that after.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually have an assistant, but
it's nice of you to give that person the day off.
Yeah, well, no, he's here. He's gone. He'll be back. And side note, remember in Disney World when I bought us arcade basketball? Like
bought us arcade
play.
basketball?
Like I got us a ticket to play it. Like we got a swipe card to play.
Yeah, I remember you got one and then I got one. Yeah.
No, but you remember I got one actually.
And then I got one.
No.
Yeah.
I treated you. That's all I'm trying to say. So whenever you want to thank me for that. Okay. This one's controversial. Okay, this is another classic. Guess who?
It is.
Well,
you have the newer version of it though.
I do have it's so cheaply made.
It's way worse.
Very
it's
cheaply
so
made.
much worse.
The cards just fall out. It's a fun game though. It's a classic. Easy enough to understand. And then you know the rules very well.
The rules are not that complicated.
Yeah.
But
if anyone ever has questions about how to play this, Adam is your resource. Just saying it now because he played with my cousin once and he had to explain.
Actually, well, no, the story is you were playing with your cousin.